Both players are indeed ready going into the match, perhaps the final one of today. It is Tarson versus Moon, Game 2 on Metalopolis. So on this map, going to be a big question. What will the positions be? Close by air or far away by air? No, it will be close. In the north position, we have the man currently up 1-0. It is Millennium.org's Tarson.
A few remaining cheers from a tired crowd. And we have in the bottom right-hand side, We Made Fox is Moon. Please make some noise for your Korean Zerg.
So many people hoping for some kind of insane six pool, but I don't think they'll get it. I think it's going to be another long, dramatic game. Players playing extremely well. Supply Depot going down for Tarson. A great play, Diapollo.
I know the Supply Depot is now at, if I just look over here, at 200 out of 400, coming up to 250. We'll be getting into the yellow health as it comes to 300. And it looks like the Supply Depot will manage to finish here, Sean, as it gets up to that 400, and it does indeed finish. The Supply Depot finishes, and that is a decent feat in this game already for Tarson, as he now builds the barracks also, and the crowd are loving it. Tarson showcasing why he beat Moon in the first game.
But I mean, Tarson, while he's showboating at the front of his base, doesn't properly scout this Overlord.
And it's in a great look. Actually, you can see it.
It's right there.
He can see that. I didn't think he could see it through that clouds. That's kind of interesting.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean, Moon actually sees the refinery being taken. He doesn't actually need to send out a drone scout anymore because he has the confirmation. He knows it's not 2 racks. He knows it's not 1 rack's expo. So he can use that drone for his economy. He can see that it is now being used as SUVs have now gone into that refinery.
Well, I mean, Moon's Overlord isn't really being that smart. Anything as big and noisy as a dumb Overlord will not be hidden by just a couple plumes of smoke, easily visible right there. Shh, I'm hiding. You can't see me. Yep, you're right there, Overlord. So we are going to see Tarson move directly into the hatch, spot it relatively easily.
He might actually be able to kill it. Well, actually, no, it should be able to escape here now. It's being moved out. And we do have the SCV of Tarson inside Moon's base, and does see the timing of the gas, and we're about to hit almost 100. Will he take off gas here? This is quite trademark of Moon. He's actually staying in here, playing mind games with Tarson or mind games with the commentators.
Well, it looks like Tarson hasn't done anything yet with this SCV. It is just resting in front of the geyser. If he stole Zerg's gas, that would definitely be a first. In the meantime, we do see the factory going down for Tarson. Will he do the double Hellion opening? Yes, indeed he does. Again, one of the pioneers of Hellion or Banshee pressure. Oh, Tarson may very well be doing it.
Indeed. I mean, he might push out with a few Hellions first of all, 3 or 5 Hellions depending on when he wants to go, and then follow with a Banshee. Because it is close air, he might be able to get a lot of damage done to Moon. And that's one of Moon's weaknesses. He does not get a 3rd Queen very fast, and so you can capitalize on that by getting these Banshees, especially in this close air distance.
Now, these Banshees, if they can do enough damage, Moon is going to be in an awkward spot early on. We have really not seen a lot of Hellion Banshee play from the Korean Terrans. So this could be an early first coming out for Moon. So that does mean that that could potentially be an advantage to Tarson, because like you were saying, Apollo, the Koreans have not gotten the chance to study the styles of these Forerunner players. So Moon is really playing with very little information.
And he does have an Overlord that could go in, does see the double gas. I wouldn't be surprised if he would throw down an Evo. Okay, there goes the Evo Chamber. Evo Chamber does go down, and I wouldn't be surprised if he just added a Spore Crawler anyway to help defend against what possibly could come. And it's worth the investment because you don't really want to take a big hit from these close air distances, and the Banshee is being made. No Cloak will be invested in. That's a smart decision here. And SCV is going to go in and see that we do have an Evo Chamber and a Spine Crawler just about to finish here.
Now, even if this doesn't do any direct damage, the fact that all these defensive structures are getting constructed is damage enough in itself. No layer for Moon, no 3rd. Just going for Queens, drones, and a little bit of speed Zergling. We do see Cloak coming up from Tarson.
I was surprised by that decision of Tarson, and I guess one of the reasons by another, I mean, if Tarson actually looked at how Moon played, he actually doesn't get a layer very fast either. And but he will be able to get 2 Spore Crawls out, 1 on the mineral line of both bases, and should be able to defend against this, especially because he is researching in a 3rd Queen.
But the thing that makes this pressure unique from Tarson is that he simply puts pressure on the front. Looks like Moon, though, is very prepared, as a Spore Crawler down already. But the layer is going to be a little bit vulnerable.
Indeed, it's only just been started now. And this Banshee's he's kind of holding the Banshees inside the main, not pushing out too early. We do have a command center being placed down now. We'll wait for the 2nd Banshee to come and then see what kind of damage he can do, but I really don't think he can do that much at all. 2 great positions on the natural and a great position in the middle line of the main. He might be able to snipe some extractors on the right-hand side, but that seems like the only kind of damage he can do here.
I mean, again, a big concern for Moon is how late his layer tech is. If Tarson can even pick off a couple of drones, wow, great spotting there by Tarson. Oh, and there's the cloak. He's going to move in between these 2 bases, see if he can pick off a queen. Almost gets 1, almost gets 2. That is a very fragile position right now for the Zerg player. Has almost no queens alive. These 3 queens are just on the verge of popping.
And we have the double command center, just like previously. Tarson going for that 3rd early command center. And 1 Banshee inside the main, doing a lot of damage here, 4 kills. And is going to be now pushed outside the base.
Oh, man, just to take it down. Will he get number 2? No.
So close.
So there's the Viking, though, is picking off a couple of Overlords. Very smartly, the Banshee prevents these queens from getting too over-eager. There are no Overseers out right now, but there's a very fast Spire coming up.
Indeed, and like I said, that's what I thought Moon would kind of react to how Tarson played, by getting this Spire up a lot sooner to kind of deflect any drops, because that was the biggest weakness in Moon's play. He had so many Infestors, so many Roaches, but could not deal with multiple drops across the map. And that Spire is definitely going to help out. Tarson scouts for the 3rd base, sees there is nothing there yet, and they should be soon. Should be moving out with a drone very shortly as the minerals start to build up now.
So right now, Moon is going to be in a good position, but he's going to have to do a lot of magic with those Mutalisks. I mean, the fact that he's really not been able to get a 3rd base up for so long is really hurting him at this point. Tarson right now trying to deny that with his 4 Hellions, but man, those hatches build so quickly. The Zerglings are trying to come in from behind, but there's really not that much that Moon can do about this.
I think these Hellions are most likely going to go down. There's nothing he can do with the hatchery. I don't think he'll be able to go down. In comes the flank and surround, and Tarson lets all these Hellions go down very easily.
And I mean, at this point, Tarson is really only going to have to, or he's going to have to rely on some mistakes from the opponent.
This Banshee could very well kill this. I mean, especially because he's got Cloak. There is no Overseer anywhere in sight at all. And as soon as he cloaks, he could do this.
Oh, and going for the smarter choice, free queens if he can get it before it moves onto the creep. It's getting really close. Tarson's going to have to micro. It's at 23 health, 1 health, and it falls.
I definitely go back straight for that hatchery fast, because, I mean, there is an Overseer making, and the Overseer is quite slow at the moment. He goes back for the hatchery, but he's going to let it live, as the Mutalisks are out now along with that Overseer, and we'll be able to nullify any Cloak Banshee harassment from now on.
So right now, Tarson getting a little high on money, has not begun to research that combat shield upgrade, still has that Banshee smartly hidden down at the bottom side. And similar to the July vs. Thorazane series, very difficult for these Zergs to get up a 3rd base.
A few Mutalisks come in, taking a big hit from that 1 turret, going down to 23 HP, and no harassment there from Moon in this instance, but he is getting up this 3rd base, finally being able to mine gas, and that has been the difference between players today. Well, players playing against Zerg, is that they've been halting 3rd bases so much, preventing the gas income, which is so important to Zerg players.
Ooh, accidentally pulling all of his workers off mining for a little bit, but Tarson now heading back. Still no combat shield. That is a gigantic blunder from Tarson. Okay, he's getting combat shield. Excellent play by Tarson.
And no, well, actually, does he have? Has he got any upgrades on his Marines yet? That's sounding kind of, yeah, +1. Okay, I didn't see that. +1 on the Marines so far is pretty decent. And in come the Mutalisks again, trying to scoop around, see what damage they can do. But I don't really feel that Moon has the scariest Mutalisks I've ever seen before.
Now, if Moon is not careful, he will lose this 1 queen. And oh, Moon!
Very easily could have pulled back to that Spore Crawler and prevented that loss. Slight blunder by there. All these small edges helping Tarson push through into the later stages of this game. But a quick supply count of workers. 75 for Moon versus 50 SCVs for Tarson. And Tarson trying to get up to that third base now.
Tarson slowly swooping around to clear it off the early third command center, now moving its way to the left. Mutalisks in the middle of the map trying to scout around, trying to pick off anything that they can. But Tarson is gearing up to do a big push. Will he move out when that combat shield wraps up?
So many losses with Mutalisks to just basic Marines. And like I said before, Moon just does not have scary Mutalisks at all. I mean, compared to the likes of Jelizerg and Hydra in this matchup, these Mutalisks just are not doing enough damage at all. And kind of this warrants their play so far, but a lot of Banelings in the middle of the map though. You can see where Moon's gas has been spent, and he does have a fourth base up now. Is mining from both Vespian geysers, and in comes Tarson for a pretty big push here.
42 Banelings out right now. It's all going to come down to whether or not he can get off the good tank shots. Tarson moving forward a little bit too far.
What's the siege?
Oh no! Tarson with the very late siege does target fire the Banelings, and they rip through the tanks. They rip through the Marines. Moon with a crushing blow to Tarson's first push.
That's lights out for Tarson right there. Moon complete control. Will chase down a Medivac or two. And Tarson's in a world of trouble now. He's got this third base up, but it's only an orbital commander. We do have Banelings rolling around that could do a lot of damage here. They're not going to get sniped. And a few Marines and tanks are going to come up, though. Will these Banelings be able to get into the mineral line, though?
Oh, it looks like they might get some Marine kills. No, the tanks picked them off just in time.
Sorry. I loved your no response to that. Just shouting at that.
No Banelings will do any damage today. And you see the Mutalisk now trying to move into the main, but again, very small Mutalisk counts by Moon. Oh, he's been making a lot of Banelings back home. He does have that +1 upgrade. Tarson looking fairly thin on the defense, having to commit to that because, like you said, no planetary fortress on that fort. Meanwhile, Moon taking the gold and the south expansion.
Indeed, and so many more Banelings. Oh my god, this actually classifies as so many Banelings. Look at these now. There are so many there. And look at this tank count. There's not too many tanks here, and they are spread out very thinly. So this is going to be an interesting engagement from Moon. As soon as Tarson pushes out, though, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. And that's not really a location you'd scan, though, but Moon doesn't care. He's going straight in.
He is just going to roll right in the front. Huge damage being dealt to that Baneling pack. Moon does not care. Rolls directly in. Marines from the side. Oh, the SCVs. Completely vulnerable, but tanks at the left do manage to clean it up. Moon has a handful of Mutalisks continuing to obliterate any small couple of Marines. Staggering around in the main. Mutalisks pulling back. Bad angle, but still Moon building more and more expansions. One drop moving to the bottom left. Tarson, though, in a very terrible spot. Has few SCVs down to 52. 94 for the Zerg player.
I know, it's not looking good at all. We have +2/2 upgrades, which can help Tarson out a fight against these swarms consistently. A drop coming in from the bottom left-hand side, but in comes the Moon. And he will be able to clean this out. Mutalisks need to move, though, to go and intercept that before they do land. Hopefully should be able to get that down with this +1 upgrade.
Uh-oh, looks like it's going to have a chance to unload a couple of Marines. If Tarson could save that, that would be a very, very nice hold. And yes, does manage to keep it alive, but again, just more and more Banelings coming out from Moon. Just attack, moving up to the top left, just sending some changelings in the front to get some spotting done. And they will spot that there is nothing in the way. Banelings and Zerglings rolling on up. Can Tarson hold top left?
I don't know. There is a drop in the main of Moon right now as Tarson tries to defend this, but the focus is on this third base. Can Tarson? Hardly any siege tanks to fight against these Marines. He's forced to lift up the command center, but these Marines inside the base of Moon are doing a lot of damage.
He realizes he cannot kill the tanks, just sidelines all the SCVs and the unit counting station down to 40 for Tarson. The main under a little bit of fire, but Moon cleaning up. Tarson rapidly running out of options, and 78 Zerglings in production.
190 food versus 115 now. Moon cruising in this game, and Tarson pushes out for a desperation attack. Can he do something here? I don't know. Unsiege. Oh, these Mutalisks.
No, the Mutalist gonna annihilate everything. The Marines microed back, but Moon has too many units. Tarson essentially out of options at this point. Low on SCVs, low on units, trying to continue to pressure. But Moon just streaming Zerglings in the front, but he is not giving up yet. Tarson refuses to leave this game.
He refuses to let us sleep, Sean, as this game continues 3, and potentially a third game coming from this as we drag into the 15th hour of our marathon cast, I suppose you could say. And upgrades are looking pretty superior now for Moon, as he's got so much gas, can just morph Banelings over and over and over. And this is looking pretty bad. Tarson once again is going to push out, but there's just too many units here for him to handle.
And a small counterattack by Moon, but it's going to do massive damage with those Zergling upgrades. Tarson really dumping everything into this push. It is all or nothing for Tarson, and it may very well be nothing with this number of Banelings. Rolling forward, Moon just carefully repositioning again and again, and going to do a big Zergling counterattack. What can Tarson do but pray at this point?
I don't think that any other options viable. I mean, the Ling counterattack is going to absolutely destroy his economy, but so many Banelings coming in here.
And it looks like Tarson stims to retreat. The Baneling count is starting to dwindle, but so is everything else for Tarson. Has almost no tanks remaining, but the Zergling counterattack is going to be enough. 75 food for Tarson, 156 for Moon. Tarson trying to push into the goal with 30 Zerglings in production. All the SCVs getting annihilated. 15 SCVs remain.
And Tarson fights to the very last point of this game. Gonna take out this gold expansion, but once again, Moon shoots up with his supply. 160 now versus only 53 of Tarson. He has no economy. I'm looking at the units tab. 13 SCVs to 85 drones. And I'd like to see a comeback, but there's not going to be one in this game.
Tarson really does not want to let this slip easily. For Moon, does not want to give any easy wins, forcing Moon to maintain focus, because we've seen once or twice there's been that glimmer of hope where Moon really had to buckle down. Tarson having solid fundamentals, but no matter how sound your fundamentals are, when you have 50 Banelings against a tank, it's hard to win.
Just that one tank. He has lifted up a bunch of units into these medivacs and is going to go for a drop on the right-hand side. But as you said, one tank to fight alone against the swarm. Will it be able to conquer the swarm?
Oh, Tarson has no answer. The Banelings are going to kill off everything, lifting up supply depots over here. And now Banelings are rolling in towards the third base. 33 food for Tarson. And he's not done yet.
No, he's going to go for the hive. The last stretch of Tarson as he goes. These Marines not dying, just like Tarson's spirit in this game as Moon goes into his base.
And there it is, the good game. Tarson and Moon now tied up 1-1. Now, I know this is the final game. I know a lot of you are excited to jump into this match, but I need to let you know we will be going into a very brief 5-minute break before the last game of the evening. It is a very desperately needed break, similar to what Diapollo needed earlier in the day. I need to. So whatever you do, don't go away. Final game of Moon vs. Tarson coming up right after this.